Welcome to Hear Me Out and Pass the Scissors, a podcast where two long-distance scrapbooking friends talk creativity, chaos, and cutting things up on purpose. I'm Lisa from Life and Layouts on YouTube.
And I'm Nicole from ColieBing. Whether you're scrapbooking at your desk, your kitchen table, or just in your head, grab your scissors and hear us out.
All right, so hear me out. Let's talk about money.
I think it's about to get awkward if you're talking about scrapbooking and money.
Right, but I'm sure they have questions about things like affiliate links and YouTube memberships, Patreon, and maybe some classes.
True, and let's be real, nobody likes feeling that salesman mentality, but at the same time, our supplies, our time, our effort, everything we put into our channels has value.
Exactly. And today we're pulling back the curtain on what it really is like to explore those earning options. What works for us, what hasn't, and how we balance sharing our creativity with keeping it fun.
So whether you're just curious or thinking about making that shift yourself, grab your scissors
and hear us out. All right, so the first question or topic is about that turning point. And I know in the past podcasts, we've talked about how we got started in YouTube. So that's not where we want to go, where we want to start this time. We want to start like jumping ahead. What made you decide to go down that path of starting to monetize? I know we got to get there for certain aspects of YouTube, but what made you decide to say, hey, I enjoy this hobby now of creating YouTube content, and how can I push myself more to make side hustle from it?
This is going to sound really weird. I feel like from the birth of my channel till even now, learning things like short form videos, I have always looked at those people that have been here longer, have larger audiences, and just know what they're doing a lot better. So it was just kind of seeing other content creators providing affiliate links and kind of just being more aware of it. And then slowly learning like what that meant to them, what that meant to me as a viewer and a potential customer. And then how does that work because it kind of goes back to what we talked before. I feel like, yes, the online scrapbooking community is typically pretty warm and pretty open, but then I feel like when you kind of want to look behind the curtain, people are just not willing to open their curtain. So I didn't really feel comfortable ever reaching out to somebody and being like, you have affiliate links in your video. How? I had seen, I don't remember which store. I don't think it's a store that I have like an affiliate relationship with, but way at the bottom of their home screen, they had links to like their frequently asked questions, contact them. And then there was a section that said like, become an affiliate. And it made me go and look at stores that I frequent and that I was already grabbing links from. They just weren't affiliate links. And I think it was scrapbook.com. I was like, oh, there's like an application. And so I just put in my information, and I'm guessing they must vet you based on your stats or something. And once I like onboarded with them, and at that time they were using Share a Sale, within Share a Sale's structure, you could see other stores and you could almost apply within the site to do it. So I always just kind of looked at other people that were way more successful than me, had their stuff together, and was like, what are they doing? Should I be doing it too? But also trying to do it me.
For me, I started my channel with the intention of making money. I knew I had to build up to that. Obviously, I had to meet the YouTube requirements. My first goal was to get to that point where I was able to make money on YouTube. From there, I was able to, just like you, figure out that, oh, other people had these affiliate links. I thought, well, how do I get that? And I started doing some research, and my first affiliate program was Amazon. A lot of the items that I was purchasing was cheaper on Amazon than the other scrapbook stores, and I'm always trying to find the best route that's going to benefit others that's cheaper for them. So I was like, hey, check out these Amazon links. But then realizing that not everything is available for scrapbooking on Amazon. So I had to figure out how to get affiliate links from scrapbook stores. That's when I went over to scrapbook.com and then a cherry on top. I did end up with Sweet Petunias because I loved her glue press, and it was never available on scrapbook.com. So I had to have that alternative in case it was sold out.
Yeah, I will say one of the other reasons that I kind of was like, okay, I'm gonna dip my toe in this was I feel like I absolutely love YouTube comments. And when you get somebody saying something related to a specific product, it can take you a couple minutes to fully flesh out what they're asking for, kind of go back and look through your video, figure out what they're asking about, go find it, get the link for it. And it just kind of felt like, well, if I had an affiliate link for that, I could save it and kind of always have it to like refer to. And also be like, if they order from it, I'm going to get maybe a penny. You know what I mean? Like negligent, which you're, super analytical, super stat oriented. So maybe you can kind of take this time now to explain to somebody who doesn't create content kind of what the bones of affiliate linking is.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So I think that one thing to realize is that when we do put out our affiliate links, because there's sometimes
a negative connotation about
us putting out our affiliate links and we're trying to make these big bucks on it, the amount of money that we get is pennies on the dollar. I want to say like 10% is the highest affiliate link that I've ever had. So if you're purchasing a $20 item, that gives me 20 cents.
I was going to say, I feel like I'm usually within, and see, this is the thing, I feel like nobody talks numbers. And the nice thing about Share a Sale was you could kind of see what your commission was. And I feel like I was usually within that like 3 to 5% range. But scrapbook.com has this awesome thing where a lot of times they will push their store brand, which I already love, and they'll put a higher percentage on their store brand to kind of help promote it.
Yeah. And that's the 10%. So when I say the highest you can make is 10%, that's the scrapbook.com.
I think I had an 18% one time from them on some like specific thing. It was like when they were just releasing like either the adhesive or something. And I was like, I mean, I already like it.
Yeah. So most of the time it is in between that 3 and 5%. So we're not making bank on anything that we do.
We're talking, 3 pennies on a dollar.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
But, you don't know how many hours went into the video that you were like, hey, let me show you this new thing that I bought and I'm going to link it.
Yeah. And I think going back to what you were saying in regards to the YouTube comments, we, at least for me, I know you are more posting closer to it going live on your channel. I tend to schedule mine. So if I get a question on my YouTube channel about a specific thing, we're talking days, if not weeks ago, that I have uploaded that video, and that is way out of my brain. It is done, checked off. We don't need to talk about that anymore because it's completed. So for me to have to go back and be like, okay, this person's asking about this question, what you were saying about trying to figure out exactly what they're asking about, but also figuring out how to get that information. So it just makes it easier to do the affiliate links up front, and while I'm thinking about it, while I'm uploading it, so that if the question comes up, I can be like, oh yeah, it's in the description already. And I try to put everything in the description to make it super easy.
Yes, I feel like that's always my intention, but I'm easily distracted. And so sometimes it will be like within 3 days of me posting a video that I'm going back and putting those links in there. And it goes back to, I think we had talked about this in a previous episode, where I, as a viewer, am very much self-serve. Like, I don't want to reach out to you and ask you because I know that you're busy. So like, I'm going to comb through your description. I'm going to check your comments and see if somebody else has already asked. Like, I'm going to try to find the thing that I'm asking about as much as I possibly can myself. And I think that's why, like, I tried to put everything in the description box. I don't always succeed because we've talked about this. I don't super pre-plan. And I kind of just get it where it needs to go. And then I fix it after, which I'm having to do a lot of fixing, which I was hoping we were going to be able to talk about this, is the recent struggles with the switchover. If you're not an affiliate with Share a Sale and none of this makes sense to you, like a quick thing would be, for years we've all used Share a Sale. They got bought out by a company called Awin. We've been getting emails for like, a year and a half saying the transition was going to be smooth. All you had to do was make an account. Everything was your links were going to still work. Everything was going to be great. Share sale, I'm pretty sure this week. Like I just got my final payment. So I think it's done. The transition has not been smooth. The onboarding was awful. You walked me through fixing like the dumbest thing I think I had encountered on there. And it's that whole learning new tech. And then it's the whole, not a lot of people are like willing to help other people because it's almost like this concept of like competition for those 3 pennies. And I'm like, you can have them. Just tell me how to get my profile approved. like I'll send people your way. I don't care. It's those things that are just so time consuming that kind of makes me be like, I feel less gross posting this link in this video because I just fought for 2 hours to like get this link so that somebody doesn't have to ask me for it.
Going back to what you were saying in regards to the transition, it has been very difficult with this new company. And it's almost as if the company didn't realize how many people were going to be onboarded or needed to be onboarded. And the links, you were having issues with links not working correctly. And
one store was fine, one store wasn't. You taught me about the extension. It only works for one store. It doesn't work for another. And I feel like we are a very small drop in the bucket of AWIN. So I can only imagine what these like home decor influencers are experiencing at the moment. Like, I don't know. It's crazy. I was able to, like, you had figured some stuff out. I reached out to a couple of people yesterday and got some info from them and like shared it with you. Nobody's approached me and asked me. Maybe they know better. I don't know. But it's just weird because there's no like, nobody talks about it. Even in like the YouTube groups, nobody's talking about money. So this feels awful.
It's that taboo that nobody talks about much.
Yeah, it feels like we're over here. It's the first date and we're just laying politics, religion, and COVID on the table. And I don't want to.
When we created our channel, or at least when I did, my thoughts were, I want my channel to be a training channel. Yes, I'm creating content and I'm sharing scrapbooking stuff, but it's about learning about scrapbooking, right? And so this part of it has been a learning curve, and it is a part where we spend a significant amount of time that is not actual creating, what we've considered dark side of scrapbooking, right? So the putting the layouts away and dating them and journaling them and all of those things that we don't like doing, we also have that added aspect of content creating and making sure our links work properly and making sure that it runs smoothly so that when the end user is looking at that information, it's super easy for them and it's not something that they even think about, that we have spent hours on it.
There's even been instances where I have either avoided using a specific product or I started my video being like, heads up, this thing is old. I cannot find it anymore. It will not be linked. I apologize. And if you watch my channel, it's that 3x4 notebook die.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry. I even looked into making it myself. And then now it's a little bit the journaling strip die. It's still being produced. So I have hope.
And I do feel like the last time that Scrapbook.com got the journaling die, so 2 times ago, they had 4 of them that came in and it told you it's limited quantity. But this last time that it came in, there wasn't a limited quantity number listed,
which I was thinking it had to be at least 20 or more. I feel like there has to be a threshold where you don't see the inventory number. And that makes me think that maybe they're seeing it. I was a little mortified. Somebody messaged me and she was like, hey, thanks for sharing the link. I managed to get one. By the way, did you know that like when you scroll down on the page, it's just all of your layouts? And I was like, no, I did not. And I'm so sorry, but I tag it every time I upload to the gallery, not knowing what that does.
And so what you're talking about, just in case people don't know, is if you purchase an item from scrapbook.com, a lot of times after you have purchased it, maybe like a day or 2 later, you'll get an email if you're signed up for their newsletter or to receive emails from them. You'll get an email that says, hey, here's these items that you've purchased and here's items that people have used that for. So a lot of times if you're purchasing like content of paper and stickers and things like that, they're layout ideas. But for this particular die, I think because it's a card die, I think no one else is linking it except for you.
I've seen people linking it. I think the problem is I have so many things that I've linked to it. I feel awful because I'm like, there's some poor woman that probably bought the die and the stamp that's built for it. She's going to go make this gorgeous like text Christmas tree out of it. And she gets the email and she's all excited for the inspiration. And there's pictures of me and my dog. And I'm like, I am so sorry, but I love it.
You don't realize what you're using it for. It's almost if like scrapbook.com is sending you spam because it's like, well, this isn't the die. Because if you can't see that it's the journaling strips that you're using it for.
I am, it's like on the back burner that if this thing retires, like if Hero Arts is just like, we're done, we're moving on, I will be like spamming SBC and being like, I desperately need you to make one of these yourself because people will still buy them.
And I think it's taken off more and more because I see them in not only our Facebook groups, people are using them, but I also see other content creators using them.
When I see them in the wild and they actually mention that they use the die, I am like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Yeah. Even if they don't tag me, I'm like, I know where she got that template.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's move on a little bit away from kind of affiliate links and more into other types of ways of making money. And so that would be things like memberships and Patreons. I have never done memberships or Patreons. I don't think that you have either.
Are you asking from the providing it or joining it?
Let's talk about both. So neither one of us have memberships or Patreons on our YouTube channels, correct?
My class is on Patreon.
So let's first talk about like, because your classes are a little bit different, and that's you're on Patreon for a specific reason for that class because there was no other platform for it. But let me first talk about like why I do not have them on my channel, and who knows if that's going to change in the future or not. And then we can move into why you have the Patreon and how that's not really a Patreon because it's kind of a little bit different.
No, I'm using it to host.
Right. So for me, when I started my channel, absolutely want to make money on it. And we've talked about it before too, in regards to when we upload our videos, we do have the option to do ads just at the very beginning, or we can do what's called mid-roll ads. And that's where they will put them in wherever they see fit, right? Or we can go in and put them in. I've never done mid-roll ads except for our podcast. That's the only time that I've added those. And I think you're the same way. We just have them at the very beginning.
Yeah, I think the only other, it might be in my hour-long like room reset. It's typically if it's like those really long ones, I feel less shisty putting in like 2 or 3 mid-rolls. But I do the thing where you say, I only want 2 or I only want 3. I got like a bad taste in my mouth from another content creator that was like excessive using them. And I was like, I never want to do this because it was annoying. I just want to listen to it and work on something. And it was just ad after ad after ad.
And I look at it as like a kind of a TV show, right? So if you're watching an hour-long TV show, back in the day, you would anticipate every 15 minutes or so you would get.
Yeah, I feel like it's normal. If anything, it kind of makes you aware of how much time's gone by and you're like, maybe I need to go to the bathroom. Maybe I need to go get a drink.
But my videos are 15 minutes. So I feel like,
oh, yeah, no, don't do that.
No, they don't need ads. Ads in the beginning, absolutely, because that's the only way that I'm generating any type of revenue, but not throughout. And my thought process is kind of similar to what you're thinking in regards to, I don't want to be that cringy person who makes it very obvious that that's what I'm trying to do. I enjoy creating content. I enjoy putting it out. I think I've talked about this before. YouTube is an extension of my scrapbooking. When I know that paper is not going to be around forever. And even with Eli, and your kids are the same age, technology is something that they gravitate towards. They spend their entire times on their phones or on their devices. And I want to have that ability to, if he's not going to look through my albums, maybe he can still get the stories through my channels. And every once in a while, I get to embarrass him through my videos because his current girlfriend, I don't think I've told you this, but his current girlfriend found my TikTok channel and my YouTube channel and has watched it. And so he's like, these are some funny things that he's done. And I was like,
yeah, I had that happen recently too. For me, it's always weird when it's like family or like in real life friends. And I'm like, no, please don't do that. If you do that, don't tell me. I don't know what it is about being like, I can serve it up to strangers on the internet. No problem. I don't know. It's weird. But I was going to tell you that I feel like you say you're not doing YouTube memberships or Patreon, but I feel like you're on the path to that. and that that's not a bad thing. We've talked about that you started your channel with intention. You mapped everything out. You started with an intro. You knew everything about the statistics and the analytics and everything. And I tell people that your channel is a teaching channel. And I feel good knowing that I've been telling people that because that was your intention all along. But I feel like you're also really prolific with how much content you put out. And when people are really prolific with their content and they're putting out almost daily stuff, I don't get the ick when suddenly I get a notification that says they're starting a membership or they're doing a Patreon and maybe 25% of the content is now going to live over there, because I'm like, yeah, you go get your 40 cents. You know, I bounce around between like, you know, where I'm going to throw my monthly $5. Like it was years of somebody on Patreon, and then it was, you know, a couple of years of somebody on YouTube and stuff. And I look at it as I'm supporting my friend.
And maybe in the future, that might be something I consider, because I can tell you on days where I hate my job and I question why I'm still in this line of work. Like when I show up first thing in the morning and discover a ton of messages waiting for me in my inbox that I wasn't expecting. On days like that, I start imagining what life would be like as a full-time content creator.
The day you told me, you were like, I'm going to quit my job and I'm just going to do this full time. And I don't think I replied to you. And I was like, I don't know how to tell her, don't do that. My husband came home and I was like, I have to tell you what Lisa's telling me. And he looked at me like I was nuts. And I was like, no, like, I'm not telling her. I was like, insurance? She has a kid with her? Like, maybe when you've retired and you're like earning your retirement or your pension or your whatever, then you can like balls to the wall be like, I'm going to do this for my job, but don't quit your job.
I know. Yes. But like I said, it's only on those days where I'm frustrated at work that I'm like, maybe I can do this.
And then that's when you go on like a 30-day content bender.
Yeah. Because that's where I currently am. And I am, I have to show you this, and we'll definitely have to put this in a short, but.
Is that paper notes? I'm stressed.
So I am stressed in regards to the stuff that I need to get finished, because not only, I mean, the daily content, which I only did 10 days, I didn't do a full 30 days, but there's so much that I have in my brain that I need to get out, because I know that, I don't know if it's like public information. I feel like it is public information that Doodlebug is not releasing a new collection. And the reason I think that it's public information, because I'm starting to see Hey Pumpkin come back out, and the design team members are starting to put out content again with Hey Pumpkin. So that gives me the indication that Doodlebug isn't creating a new Halloween line this year. We're going back to previous lines, which they've done before. And so then that makes me think, as a content creator, well, I need to get some Hey Pumpkin stuff created so that not only can I put it out around in October, because that's when Halloween stuff is, but I also want to grab onto those coattails of those design team members and their hashtags, and they're posting videos and stuff, and be like, hey, here's my channel, come look at my stuff.
Get it.
Yeah.
Get it, girl.
Yeah. So all of those ideas of like, I need to get this stuff planned out for pumpkin layouts and Hey Pumpkin. And then also that 6x8 pad that I got by mistake.
Oh, the accidental spooky one. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, I need to figure something out with that as well, because that's going to be in October.
I love that you like plan your content like seasonally and like what people want to see. And I'm like, this is what I was assigned. This is what I had time in between.
And that information, like my thoughts in regards to planning things, goes back to the side hustle of this. I'm trying to figure out what is going to be popular so that I can make sure that my content is being seen, because YouTube algorithm sucks.
I was going to say, I feel like I saw that in real time when, fun fact, I would have never signed up for the 13 days of Craftoween from Spellbinders. When it was offered to me, I was like, I don't know. And you were like, think of the daily content. And I was like, yeah, I don't do that. And you were like, do it. So I did it. I did not manage to post on the right days daily, but whatever. I got them all done. There's shorts or reels for all of them, basically short form content. I watched in real time the light bulb spark when I was like, hey, this is weird. Like half of them, I would say 6 of them probably got like 200 views. That's normal for me for a short. The other 7 got like 1900 views. And you were like, go back. And I was like, what do you mean? And then all of a sudden, Life and Layouts is dropping reels and shorts. And I'm like, I can't even be mad at her. I gave her the information. It worked for me, but it's 2 completely different types of content. It's like, it's literally, you're throwing fishing line into like a swimming pool and you have no clue what's going to come out, what's going to work, what's not going to work. What works for me randomly might not work for you, or it could.
But going back to the affiliate link part of it and the money that we make for it. So we're throwing this fishing line in, hoping that we're going to catch something. And when we do, it's a little tiny minnow. It's like 3 little cents, right? So we're spending hours on like just.
Or you pull out an 1800 view short and you're like, who are the other 1600 people? Like, where did y'all come from? And hey, could you go look at all this other stuff back here?
I feel like we are always chasing that next big break. And it is a big break for us when we are making $1 instead of 3 cents. And it's not, again, we're going back. We're not going to be able to.
Yeah, I think this is where we're both just different, because I think, yeah, you strive for like success and your level of success has like targets that you're trying to hit. I'm always just kind of like, that's cool. Don't know how it happened. That's nice. Let me find something to go buy with my $15 and maybe it'll happen again. And you're very much like, this worked this time, I'm going to try it again. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to pivot and I'm going to do this. That didn't work. Let me pivot back in this direction. And it just blows my mind. The dedication alone.
And there are times where I am blown away with what happens on my channels. Most of the time I can see it. Like, it's a slow progression. I can see, okay, I put this stuff out and I can see the direct effect to that. But then there's other times, I think I mentioned this to you, it was probably a year ago, and I even posted it in my Facebook group. I went into share a sale to open it up, and there's a way for you to set the amount of money that you want to receive. So I can get it monthly. I can get it at a $50 threshold or a $200 threshold or whatever. And so I started out with a $300 threshold because my thought was, I don't care if it takes me 6 months or a year to get there. I would rather have $300 as opposed to, $10 here and $20 there.
Yeah, I kind of used it like a savings account. Like, don't give it to me until I know what I want to buy.
And so when I went in there one day, and as it was loading in, because you have to like make sure that you're not a bot and things like that. So it takes a little bit to get in. And so I was like, oh, and I think I remember being at like 170 or something like that. And I was like, oh, it'd be really awesome if I could get like $30 and I could get to the $200 mark, and then I could, cash out and I can go buy whatever I wanted to buy at that one time. And when I logged in, it was like $400. I was blown away. Somebody had spent over $1,000 at Scrapbook.com, and I had gotten the commission for it. And so I posted in my group and I was like, I have no idea who this person is because we don't get any of that information.
No, you can only see their total of their order, what your commission was, and then like some I don't understand the click stuff. I'm always interested in, like, when you sent me a screenshot and I was like, I need to know who this is, because what did she buy? Because I want to know what did she buy and do I need it? What was so amazing that she spent $1,000 and how many boxes did it come in?
I want to know all the details. And that's why I posted it in my group. I was being nosy. I was like, I want to know, what did you buy?
Yeah, because I don't know if we get commission on gift cards.
I don't know.
Part of me wonders, like, if it was near Christmas, was some of that,
maybe,
gift cards for other people. I'm imagining a woman that just went on a shopping spree, like supermarket sweep.
Yeah.
Before her husband came home and was like, let me click on Lisa's link real quick.
and since you mentioned that, there is, I believe in both of ours, I know in mine, I'm pretty sure in yours as well, all of our videos have a direct link to Scrapbook.com and a cherry on top. So it doesn't link to anything specific, but that's a way for you viewers to support us. If you're going to buy something at Scrapbook.com, it doesn't cost you anything at all. And if you click on our links, then we get, those very tiny pennies. So if you got Christmas money or birthday money or things like that, and you want to support a content creator, whether it's me and Nicole or whether it's somebody else that you enjoy listening to or watching on YouTube, if they have an affiliate link and you are going to purchase things, I highly recommend you doing that, because it does really make us feel valued.
It's kind of like the reverse of You asked me where something was. It took me 5 minutes to go find the link, attach it, give it back to you. Somebody saying, I'm going to go order some stuff online. Before I get started, let me go spend a couple minutes and go find her link. Let me start with her link and then go shopping, which I've had this discussion a couple times in my group. One of my good friends, she messaged me and she said, hey, I just put an order in, like, hope you get the commission, something along those lines. And I was like, oh, thanks. Like, let me go check real quick. And my commission was 0.1%. And I was like, I've never seen this. I don't know what this is. And I told her, and she was like, that's so weird. And I was like, yeah. And so I had gone on, I can't think of what it's called, whatever the back end for scrapbook.com, where you have support there. They will help you with stuff. And I had sent a message to, I think it was Cody. And I was like, hey, do you know why, like, my friend shopped, she spent this, my thing was 0.1%. And he told me about the share a sale late checkout thing. I can't think of what it's called, where basically you don't want to fill your cart and then go over to Lisa's channel and get her link and then go right back to your cart and check out. All the things that track that, all the cookies and the cash and all of that stuff kind of dings the creator and doesn't give them the full commission. It gives them that weird, like 0.%. So he was saying that you just need to kind of tell people that they should start with your link, then fill their cart, then check out, or even somewhere in the middle. Because like sometimes I'll be like, oh, I remember I wanted the magic mat or something. So I'm halfway through my order. I'm going to run over to one of your videos, grab your link. It's going to open a new window, but my cart's still going to be there. I'm going to finish my shopping, and all of that should count towards your commission.
With that, I use Nicole's links, and I know she uses my links as well, because I'm still going to support somebody. It's not going to cost me anything, and I want to support somebody else. I can't support myself. I can't use my own personal link.
Yeah, like I needed a hard drive, and I was like, hey, I'm buying this on Amazon. Can you do the thingy and send it back to me where you're linked to it? And you bought a camera, and you were like, give me your link. And I was like, here you go.
And if you're in that situation where you're like, hey, I'm going to go purchase this, $1,000 item, can you give me your link? I am absolutely sure that Nicole or myself will gladly take that message and be like, oh, 1 second, let me go get a link for you.
And I will probably be looking and being like, do I need this as well? I got to ask you, do you think after this conversation that you're going to start researching YouTube memberships and Patreon? And
I don't know. It goes back to, I don't feel like I have content that should be behind a paywall.
I think you're missing the picture that you just painted 2 minutes ago. Yes, there are some content creators who take specific content and they put it behind a paywall. And it's like, if you want the mixed media stuff, you got to go here. If you want the super detailed, I'm going to teach you how to do this, it's behind a paywall. You literally just described how, if you want to support your favorite content creator, you got to go here. I'm going to use Sarah Scraps as an example, and I know she listens. She has a YouTube membership. I don't believe the content is any different. She might put like different series or different things. I don't think she sticks to a schedule. I think she would like to. She'll probably correct me after this comes out. But I looked at it as, I'm going to sign up for the $5 membership. If I don't watch a single video, it is what it is. I'm supporting her. And I think that you are kind of short-sighting yourself by saying that you don't have anything good enough, quote unquote, to be behind a paywall, when it's not necessarily that. It would be just moving 25% of the content you're already making and putting it over there.
See, then is deciding what 25% should go behind the paywall.
You're just getting hung up on the number.
Yes. Well, just anything. What book goes behind the paywall?
You could just do something simple like 4 Sundays. It could be something. Maybe the first one is something in your scrap room. Maybe the second one is a Disney themed something. Maybe the third one is like a technical tips and tricks. Maybe the fourth one is a stash dive. I just gave you your whole thing now because I don't want to do it. Hear me out.
Okay. All right. So then let's talk about why you have stuff behind the paywall.
Oh, that's easy. So I don't remember how old it is. I did a 4x6 focus class years ago.
Which, before you go further, I did purchase that. And you were like, you shouldn't have purchased it. I would have just given it to you. And I was like, no, I'm going to support you.
Yeah, I would have just given you, I would have just been like, here's the videos. Because you bought it when it was like 5 years old. And I was like, don't do that.
But it goes back, I want to support you.
It had good info. But I had found a hosting site geared toward, it wasn't Craftsy, it was geared similar to that hosted your stuff. And what I liked about it was you could have like chapters or sections, and each video could be in the section. And I think you could have a max of like 10. But what I liked about it was I did not have to deal with any of the retail aspect of it. They hosted it. They dealt with the e-commerce. They took their cut, which I was very thankful for. And then I got like an email when somebody signed up. And then I think it went to like my PayPal or something, whatever I had set it up for. So when I was doing the scene building class with Hey Pumpkin that we were just talking about, I'm like planning that, and I realized that website is closing down. And I'm like, one, I need to move that class. Two, where am I going to put this one? I did a bunch of research. A lot of the stuff involved in that type of content where it's behind a paywall, there's expensive subscriptions, expensive commission on their end. When I'm just putting up a hobby level class, maybe once every 3 years, it didn't make monetary sense compared to my quote unquote income is usually what I compare it to. So I did a bunch of research, and I was very much like, I don't want to deal with Patreon for personal reasons. I looked into it, and there is a section of Patreon where it's separate of the membership, where you can just put up a product. You could purchase the product, you can access the product, they will host it, they will take their cut. The only caveat to that I found was there was no sections, and I had to take my 10 separate layout videos and put them into one. So I think it's like 2.5 hours long, but it was the only fix I could do. And during that class was when my camera was like eating files, and I thought I was going to lose my mind. I personally will probably never do memberships, only because I am not consistent. I don't put out content prolifically, and I do not like letting people down when they are expecting something every Sunday of the month. Whereas you thrive on that type of thing.
Every 3 days on my channel. There's a content on my channel every 3 days, at least, if not more.
See, I think it's something that you should look into.
If I could quit my day job and just do this full time.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Be a full-time content creator. That would be amazing.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. In fact, I don't remember what you sent me the other day. You were like, hey, let's do this TikTok trend or something. And I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was like a whole acting thing. And I was like, I don't think you know me that well. We're not doing that.
And yeah, then last night you sent me one that was...
That one was cute. That one was literally panning and like holding something, and it was snarky. It wasn't like salesy. Like, I don't remember what the video was he sent me, but I was like, no, we're not doing that. I will not be doing that. You can do that and I'll share it, but I will not be doing that.
All right. Well, that's good to know. So then I could just go do it, because I've been waiting on you to get on board with it. Okay. So let's talk about the final thoughts of monetization. If you're a content creator, do you have to monetize, or do you have to go down this path? Can you just keep it as a hobby? Because there are lots of content creators out there who I feel like sometimes feel like they need to push it, and they may have a personal goal of becoming successful in it and quitting their day job and doing this full time, or they may want it as a side hustle. But that's not a requirement. And I feel like sometimes when you see other people, specifically other content creators, maybe being successful in what they're doing, because I feel like for you and I, we have very different success levels on our channels. We're both, I feel like, are successful. We both have growth in our channels, but you can see it in very different ways. I have daily people coming to my channel and subscribing to my channel. My subscription numbers go up every single day by several. And I know that because I look at it multiple times a day.
Burn.
Whereas you have mentioned that you don't.
I'm like 3 a week. I'm like, for every 3 that join me, 2 leave.
Right. So, but I feel like your channel is still successful, even though you don't have that growth. And just because my success is, to me, is by this channel growth and by getting my content out there, doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the same thing for any other content creator. So if you're comparing yourself to somebody else, one, that you shouldn't be doing that. You need to find your own goals and figure out what you see as success. And
say it with me.
You
You
do.
do too.
Exactly. And so if you want to go down this path, hopefully this little podcast was helpful to you. But just know that if you are considering becoming a content creator, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go down this path. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just enjoy the creating and the sharing side of it and don't want to get involved in having to go convert links and deal with them when they break or deal with somebody being upset with you because something sold out, I would just say maybe skip it.
Mm-hmm.
Or just provide, like, I know a couple of people who I think their goal is to get to that level, but for right now, they're just doing what I did, where they just link the product from the store and there's no affiliate links to it, but they're still providing, like, this is what I used in case you're wanting to ask about it and you don't have to ask me.
Mm-hmm. You can do just that. You can just link to specific stores. Just because there are affiliate links available doesn't mean that you have to use them. And then there's some stores that don't participate in the affiliate program. And so when I use their products, I'm still going to link them, even if I'm not going to make any money off of it, because going back to, I feel like I am a teaching channel. And so I do want to show you, hey, this is what I'm using. And if you want to use it too.
Can I tell you a crazy comment I saw a couple years ago and it has stuck with me? I don't remember what group it was. I'm in probably like 30 different crafting groups across like scrapbooking and card making and whatnot. It was a fairly large creator, like just doing a regular post, shared, whatever. Somebody in the comments was replying to somebody else. And they were discussing like trying to find a specific item or something. And they made reference to the fact that they felt that the large content creator was already making enough money off of X, Y, and Z, and she refused to ever use an affiliate link. So she would just go to the store and she would search up whatever she wanted, go around, almost like intentionally go around it. And I was just like, I mean, yeah, that's fair. Like, that's your choice. But like, to say that out loud, like to say that with your full keyboard, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
If you feel that way, don't ever tell me, because that will put me in like a bender for like a week and be like, I'm so sorry I exist.
At one point I did do some research because I've always wondered, like, the people who are successful at content creators. I'm talking about the people who are getting thousands and thousands and thousands of views on their YouTube channels, right? Like you see these people, most of them are celebrities or semi-celebrities, right? And they post a video and within an hour there's 10,000 views on it. And you're like, holy crap. So
But their subscriber count is like 100,000.
Right.
So like,
yeah,
still the 10% that we're getting is just on another level and they've earned it.
right. And so when I did some research on that, and if you look it up, it's been a while since I've done it, but when you look it up, it's like those people who are receiving that amount of views on their channels are still only getting like $100 or $200 per video. So it's still not enough to support yourself. Even if you're putting out a video a week or 2 videos a week, that's not enough, especially in the economy that we live in today. That's not enough to support your family, because most of these people do have, it's not just their single life, they're married with kids like that. So they are doing the work. And whether we're making pennies like we are, or these bigger content creators are making hundreds of dollars, I don't care. If I'm watching your channel and I enjoy your content, I want to support you. And if that means clicking on a link to give you a couple of pennies, then I'm going to do it.
It doesn't cost me anything. And I feel like at the end of the day, the content being made, the products being used, the products being manufactured, the products being purchased, people talking about the products, people clicking on the links. It's this whole symbiotic, cohesive thing that's keeping our favorite hobbies going.
Because scrapbooking is a dying community. And unless we get the younger generation on board, which I don't see that happening, it's going to end with us.
I was going to say, I think we're the final wave. If I find somebody younger than us, I'm always like, wow. But it's like 5 years. It's not like a generation.
Yeah, because
younger than us.
I'm currently working on dark side content. I'm pushing you to get your dark side content completed so that we can upload a video together. But I was so excited that I had finished Eli's album, and I actually recorded this part of it in real time, so I slowed the video down so that you could see it. So he's having a conversation with me, and I kind of cut all that stuff out, but I had was at the point where I was putting the layouts away in the album, and I had finished the album and I held it up, and this is 3 years in the making. He is 14, his 11th birthday album. I just finished for Harry Potter, and I held it up and I was like, I am done. And he was like, cool, and continued on with this conversation. And I was like, seriously, this is a lot of work. And he was like, okay.
And I just want to point something out to you, completely off topic, kind of touching on the engagement thing. You made those layouts, took photos of the layouts, made the videos, edited the videos, edited the photos, marketed the photos, marketed the videos, did a recap of the layout. And it wasn't until a viewer said, hey, you spelled hippogriff, not hippogriff. And I was dying. I was like, I'm not even going to reply to this woman's comment. I'm just going to watch. And I checked your Instagram. You did not replace the photo. And I was like, oh, it's bothering her. But the level of engagement that you spelling hippogriff wrong created, I was like, welcome. Here's your little dumpster. Light that shit on fire. Believe that.
Yeah. So when I saw that comment, it was an immediate pull the album out, pull out my thickers, squish it together because those thickers are huge.
I was zooming in and I was like, I don't know where she's going to put that or what the paper underneath is going to look like.
And I didn't change any of it because I know that I am going to record the final walkthrough of that album and I'm going to address it there.
Okay.
And so that's why I didn't change anything. I was like, it is what it is. One of the questions that I got in my Facebook group, I had posted a Q&A. Ask your questions. I'm going to be doing Dark Side soon. I'm at a point where it is an hour long. So the video itself is an hour. It's like 56 minutes, right? So if you think about it being sped up, so right now I have an hour's worth of content that I have narrowed down that I'm going to be able to do my Dark Side.
I would have to put mine on like normal speed to even be like 30 minutes.
And that's at 4 times the speed. So the content that I have recorded has taken me 4 hours. And that is the content that I am only recording. Because there's times where I'm like, this is repetitive. I know I'm going to cut it out. So I'm just going to go ahead and.
What do you mean to get to the point quicker? Then again, trust me, I will enjoy the content because it's one of those things where I know I can get an hour's worth of stuff done while listening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so that's why I put out the Q&A in my Facebook group, because I don't have anything to say for an hour while you watch me put pages in a page protector. But if you ask me a question, then I am all about it.
Yeah. I think I did that for the last room cleaning thing that I did, which, I mean, when are you trying to post Dark Side?
I don't have a set date.
Okay. Because I mean, I can get some more content because, hear me out. I'm going to take all that money that I just got from Share Sale that I've been saving for a year, and I'm going to go get 3 IKEA bookcase things to replace this. I need to go up. Okay. The problem with that is, where do I put this stuff? Which means I can't do that. I have to get through a bunch of projects. I need a couple weeks.
Okay. That's fine, because that actually gives me time to do stuff, and it's not a big deal.
I mean, it can just sit and marinate too. It doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. So talking about that in regards to everything that we make from, at least for me, everything that I make in regards to Share Sale or any of the affiliate links or any of the YouTube stuff that we get, it goes back into this room, whether it's paper or supplies or organizations going to.
Yeah. I feel like mine in the last year has been technology stuff, camera, hard drive, second boyfriend, photo paper, furniture, the boring stuff, only because I'm very thankful to be blessed to be on 2 big teams of stuff that I would normally be spending that money on, is just showing up and being like, hey, I live here now. And I'm like, this is amazing. That's the only reason that I had the savings saved up to be like, okay, I don't have to be cheap. I can go buy furniture that clearly I need. Every time you're like, why is there a cart blocking your door? And I'm like, because it's holding things off the floor.
I just used some of my affiliate link money to purchase a new camera, and that's not a cheap purchase item.
Which, even the camera put a spotlight on how different we are, because I bought that camera in the middle of that class that was eating my files. I was panicked. I was stressed. I was still trying to make regular content. I just needed to plug it in, throw an SD card in, and go. I've never gotten it to zoom in very well. And you're over here sending me pictures and you're like, hey, this thing goes to 4. And I'm like, how? Tell me. Do you know that you can film on 4x speed? No, never read the manual.
And I don't know how long you researched it, but I know that for me, we had that conversation, I think probably back in March, where I was like, it's time. I've had this camera for 10 plus years. It's time for me to invest. And not every single day, but every time that I would think about it, every time I was frustrated with my camera, I would do research and I would go waver back and forth. I'd watch a bunch of videos. I'd read a bunch of articles. And then at the end of the day, we ended up with the exact same cameras and you didn't tell me the camera you had. So when I was like, this is the camera I'm going with, you're like, yeah, that's the one I have.
I was like, yeah, last September when I did all my research, this was the one that everybody was saying. And I will say, I threw it up there and ran with it. So didn't do any reading of the manual. I did have a little bit of, and I'm wondering, I think we talked about this. You didn't have the same kind of acclimation shock that I had because I was going from a camcorder to what looks more like a point and shoot vlog style camera. And you were going from a DSLR, regular point and shoot camera to just an upgraded one that doesn't cut you off after 5 minutes, which I think I had told you that would have put me, I would have been putting that thing on credit. I would have been like, I cannot do this anymore. And then when you were like, I have to charge the battery, I was like, girl, get a cord. I never unplug that thing. Don't even know where the battery is.
And well, now I'm dealing with the fact that because they're not 5-minute videos that have been sped up, so 20 minutes total, these files are huge. I have gone through an entire 128 megabyte SD card, which I have been doing a lot of dark side, so I've got 4 hours of content on there. But I'm like, I ran out of space.
I said something about I can't film until I get stuff off my SD card. And you were like, what are you recording? And I was like, I don't know, everything. It goes. And then now you're over here having the same struggle. And I'm like, hello, see? And you were making fun of me because at least once a month I forget that it's running and I have to leave to go pick up a kid and I don't turn it off. And then I don't come back up here. And it makes hour-long files. So when you go to edit, you're like, why do I have 4 thumbnails that all look exactly the same? And it's just my stuff sitting on my desk for 4 hours.
Because you leave it plugged in so the battery never dies.
I feel like we should wrap up if we've gone this far off topic.
Yes. I think our overall point of this podcast is we are going down the affiliate link path and we've gone from the hobbyist to the side hustle because this is what we want to do and this is what we want our channels. Don't feel like you need to do that. You do you. But if you do want to go down that side hustle, hopefully this content was useful to you. And then we've also gone off on a little tangent as well. So you have anything else you want to add?
Probably just thank you for anybody that's ever clicked on my link and then gone on a Rumspringa in their shopping cart. It's one of those things where it's zero-sided. I have no idea who it is. I have no idea what they bought. They took the time to click the link. I got $2 from it, and I love them for that.
And if you are that person who spent $1,000 at scrapbook.com and you use my link, if you reach out to me and let me know, because I am nosy and I want to know.
Even privately. Because we thought you'd been hacked at first. I was like, either that woman's card got hacked, your ShareASale got hacked.
And ShareASale does hold the money for a little bit. So I think it took a very long time for me to get that money because I'm sure that they were like, let's wait 30 days to make sure that there's not going to be a return or that, it was disputed by a credit card or something like that.
Chargeback or
All right, so our next episode is going to be where paper meets pixels because we're going to talk about hybrid scrapbooking and how we've gone down that journey. So I'm super excited about that. So stay tuned for that. That's coming in 2 weeks. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Thanks for hanging out with us. If you like this episode, make sure you follow the show so you don't miss what's coming next.
We're so glad you joined us today, whether you were gluing, cutting, or just avoiding your photo backlog.
Until next time,
pass the scissors.